Hi guys, it's Nancy here, and I am back with another process video for you, and this is for my Hey Little Magpie blog post this month. I will put the link down below in the information / cleavage bar thing, and you can go over and look at the blog post and look at all the layouts that I created this month. And this month I worked from a kit that I made, and it was using the Webster's papers, and also mainly the Pebbles Jen Hadfield's Cottage Living collection. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, this one I decided to kind of make a little bit of difference. Most of my other ones were kind of looking at that coral tone, which I loved so much. But I really like this piece of background paper, and I like the direction of the arrows and stuff. And this is actually going to be one of the first layouts that is in my 2015 USA album. And this is kind of about the journey to get to the airport and those kind of things. So there's lots of really nice cut apart cards that I got with the Webster's Pages collection, and so I'm going to try and use those up as well, but I'm also going to bring in that lovely shiny gold. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking a stencil, and this is a stencil that I've cut with my Cameo. I really need to use my Cameo more. It's very unloved. I crack out more often than not when a friend or someone asks me to cut something out. Other than that, I don't tend to use it for myself, which is really ridiculously silly. But I am trying to get better at that. So I just took some Mylar, which is kind of the flexible plastic stuff, and cut some stencils with that. So that's what I was just using there in the background. So this is the photo that I'm going to be using, and as is normal for me, I have taken the layout, the paper that I'm going to use to mount my layout on, to mount my photo. And I really love that paper. It says love on one side and it's a black and white polka dot on the other, and that is the Jen Hadfield one. And I'm now just taking lots of different bits and pieces, and I had this 3x4 card which said notes from today, and as I mentioned in my last video, the Webster's Pages has that kind of printed glitter effect. So where it's not glittered, but it's kind of almost like that photorealistic kind of thing. And I must admit, I was a little bit I'm not really sure if I like that. But did end up taking my Wink of Stella pen, which is the clear one, and just going over it. And that actually does make it, glittery. Of course, not the chunky glittery it looks like, but that's kind of how I appease myself to use that on the layout. And so I'm just making quite a kind of ordinary kind of layout for me, where I kind of make this kind of L-shaped cluster in one of the corners. And this is a photo of me, my boyfriend, his mum, and her friends, and these were the people that I went on holiday with, which is, of course, I will be sharing lots and lots of layouts about that. But this is actually the first layout that I have made for that album, and I don't know, it's quite silly. I'd almost built up a fear of okay, this is the layout, this is the first layout I'm giving myself permission to scrap. Oh my god, it's going to be the first one in the album. And I decided there was no way I was going to work chronologically through this album. It's just that I thought, I want to get a page. Well, I printed this photo out because I wanted to give one to my boyfriend. And I thought, okay, I want to get this one out because this is kind of an introduction to the album. I want to do it while it's kind of fresh in my mind. So that is what I'm doing. While I've been rabbiting on, you've seen me kind of build lots of different layers up here, using those beautiful Pebbles tags as well, which has that lovely shiny gold on there. I also pulled out that one that says I just want to, and that's from the Chamel pad that came with her roller stamp. It was this kind of little pad, and I thought it is very thin, not very good paper, but I thought that'd just be perfect because I know I wanted to journal on here, and I was kind of okay, this background is too crazy to journal on, there's lots of black, oh my god, I don't know where I'm going to do this. So I thought, okay, I'll do a little bit of journaling on there, and then I'm probably going to do an accompanying page. So here I'm just kind of planning around building up my clusters. Again, I've used a little bit of the packaging from that Jen Hadfield, which is a lovely sort of honeycomb white and gold. And just building up lots of little layers. I'm using some of the stickers which came from the Webster's Pages. And just to pop everything up, I'm using these gold corners, and these were very wonderfully sent to me from Kath, who's Kath Driggers here on YouTube. She's amazing. She sends me little goodies, and I was like running out of my gold photo corners, and she sent me like a whole pack which had like 360 of them, which is pretty amazing. So next up, I want to make some flair to go on here, and I was going to just peel these stickers off, but then I realised that it wasn't actually going to be quite big enough. If I peeled them off, they were going to be a little bit small. So I've just used my 1-inch circle punch there just to cut those out. And then I'm actually going to use an Ali Edwards die set that I've got here, which is kind of like the travel-y ones, travel icons. And I'm going to be using these a lot. It's one of those embellishment kind of things I want to carry on throughout my album, kind of have that continuity. So you can just see there off to the side the flare that I've made. And I've just used some turquoise paper offcut there. Here I am just taking my Wink of Stella pen and going over those different bits of gold there, including on that label, just to make the printed gold actually look a bit spangly. And so I really, really love how those stickers make the flare, and I've just used one of those epoxy 1-inch domes over the top, which, you know, are kind of all the rage, and I've had hanging around in my stash for a long time. So again, just going to be using those at 3 points on the layout. There's nothing, you know, groundbreaking about this. It's something I do quite a lot, but I just really love the pops of gold and how, you know, how bright and sort of cheerful it is, and actually it matches, you know, the colours in the photo. Say my boyfriend's mum's sort of scarf is that mint colour as well, and you know, we've got blues and that, so it'll be kind of all working. So now I'm just going to be working on my title, and again I've taken one of those stickers from, it was the Jen Hadfield, I keep forgetting what it's called, Jen Hadfield Cottage Living Collection from Pebbles. That's a lot of words in there. And these are kind of epoxy phrases, and this one said hello. And I'm going to be just using the gold stickers, like kind of gold effect stickers from the sticker sheet from Webster's Pages, to put Heathrow. So this is going to be Hello Heathrow, because we flew out of Heathrow when we were flying to San Francisco. So I'm just using my little Wink Stella pen there again, just to add a little bit of gold sheen on top of there, just to add a little bit of interest and a pop, really. And I said I quite like that. So there was also some epoxy arrows on that sheet, so I just wanted to bring some little pops of black around. I really love this black and teal combination with the pops of gold, and I'm just going to bring some up to that top there tag. And I did then cut again. I cut the corners, the rounded corners off that tag, because everything else was very angular on this layout, but apart from the circular flare, so I didn't really want to add them in. So I'm just adding those again in 3 places on the layout, because that's what I do. So you're going to just see me fuss around with that. And I really enjoyed using this collection, as I said, because it was very different for me. You know, it was a challenge to kind of use these papers, but, you know, they're not something I necessarily pick up myself. Because, you know, I would admit, I'm one of those people that is just an American crafts girl. I love everything American crafts does, and I'm always drawn to it. I think some people are very, like, create paper people, some people are, like, American crafts people, and that's just me. I love the American craft, especially the signature collections from Amy Tan, Chamel. Dear Lizzie, probably not so much, but, you know, I do like her collections. Anyway, I'm rambling. So I'm just taking some of these stickers which I had from, these are the Simple Stories Document 365, I believe. I had a few of these, so I was just going to pull up some of those and just fill in a few little gaps and pieces. I do get to a stage where I just get really fiddly on my layouts and want to add more and more, but I did want to keep this one pretty simple, because it's not going to be the first page in the album, because I will do a title page, but it was a little bit fiddly, so I was like, okay, I can just keep adding on here if I'm not careful. So just looking at a few little bits here, seeing if I need to add anything. Do I need to add another piece in for some journaling? And I'm going to add this card in here, which again is just a little bit of a white neutral space that I can do some journaling on. So really, that I think is about it for this layout. I haven't done too much else to it. I think I may add, yes, I add an arrow, which is one of my sort of staples, and I have added some gold misting as well. And I'm going to mount this out on that dark black and white polka dot, and that's just going to bring everything together. And so I really enjoyed doing this layout. The first one is in the album. Haven't put the journaling on it actually, which is really silly because I've said this time I'm going to make sure I definitely journal as I go along, and I've already broken that. But anyway guys, I'm going to be back with some more layouts this week, and I'm really hoping I'm going to get back into a routine here with YouTube. So I want to thank you very much guys for watching, and I will speak to you all again very, very soon. Thanks very much guys. Bye!